You're listening to the Minutes on Growth podcast, the show that brings you mindfully curated insights into relationships, spirituality, personal development, and everything in between, with your host, Tannaz Hosseinpour. Hi, everyone. It's Tannaz Hosseinpour, and welcome back to another episode of Minutes on Growth. Today, I have the wonderful Madison Tinder, e-commerce business owner, marketing, and business mentor, all the way from Kentucky States. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I am so excited.
I'm so excited to have you on. I've been following you on Instagram. I love your energy, and I just feel like you have so much value to add to the lives of millennials everywhere around the world. I mean, you recently turned 25, you own your own home, you have a six-figure business. Tell me, how did you know that this is your calling?
Well, I would say I started my business in May of 2018. But before that, I actually was in grad school for sports marketing. I really wanted to work in sports. I went to, my undergrad was in journalism, and I wanted to do like sports reporting and journalism. I love just like asking questions. And I still utilize what I've learned in journalism for my business now, like just asking questions, having the podcast and everything. But I ended up not wanting to do that. So I went to graduate school, and that's when I moved to Texas to do more like sports business. Like I wanted to get in more of the business realm and the marketing realm. And I interned at an agency, a few agencies, did like the whole 9 to 5, went to a night class, and it was just a lot. It felt like a lot, and I couldn't find a full-time job after, and I was really stressed out. So I actually got a part-time job doing as a social media director for a chiropractor in Dallas, who she was a chiropractor for a sports team. And I just immediately fell in love with it. Like I knew that I was destined to do something revolving around social media marketing. I just really didn't know what. And as I started working with her, I was like, maybe I could own my own business, like as a part-time side hustle type deal. That's what I used to call it. And she actually referred me to a few clients. She had a few friends who owned a few businesses, like small businesses, like whether that was like a vitamin shop or something, and just needed some help with social media. I remember I was charging like $200 a month, and it was, I thought it was awesome. And I feel like I loved it so much, but I was almost trading time for money. I ended up having a lot of clients, and I wasn't really making any money whatsoever. And I was just working myself so hard. And some of my clients weren't the best clients ever. I had that mixture. And so I ended up getting in the online space to showcase my portfolio from social media management and owning that marketing agency to try to get some clients online, because I was just doing local stuff. And that's when I got introduced into like consulting. And I started doing free consulting for just local business owners or business owners online. And that's when I fell in love with it. That's when I knew it was my calling. I didn't know how I was going to make it work, but I knew I was going to make it work somehow. So that's kind of how I found my calling. I actually just started local first, then moved to the online space. I started with free consulting, then I just moved to social media consulting. Then I moved to social media coaching, marketing coaching. Now I'm like business, marketing, visibility, mentor, whatever you want to call it. I do like all the things just because I'm multi-passionate. So that's kind of how I found my calling. It was a longer story, but there's a lot that went on, but it feels like it was so long ago, but it was actually, I started my social media management business in May of 2018. So it feels long ago, but it really wasn't.
Wow. Amazing. And tell me this, what specifically do you do? Like, who do you help? And what's the point A to point B that you get them to?
Yeah, so I have lots of different offers in my suite. As I said, I'm really multi-passionate. I never truly believed in niching down. I know niching down is essential for some industries, but I tried to be just a marketing coach. I tried to just do visibility. And I was like, I can't just do one thing. I teach and do on everything. So I really do more business mentoring at the end of the day, but I tie in marketing and visibility because I do have a background background in video and camera work and visibility work and influence work. So I really tie that all into business mentoring. So I'm not just doing business stuff, I'm tying in the marketing and visibility aspect of it because it all plays together at the end of the day. So really my clients come to me depending on the offer in my suite. So if someone's coming to my mastermind, they're wanting to scale to six figures. They're like, I want to build out my product suite. I want to launch. I want to incorporate passive income. They might be coming into my Soulful Social program and they're like, I just want to start hitting 5K months. Okay, so we need to work on sales. We need to work on visibility. We need to work on growing the audience. So it depends the stage my customer is in their journey. Then I'm able to point them in the right direction based on the offer in my suite and get them to where they need to be.
Amazing. And it's so different. I mean, everyone talks about niching down, and here you are successful for not niching down and doing kind of what you want to do and what you're passionate about. So I love that message. You mentioned product suite. Can you tell us what it is and why is it important?
Yeah, so a product suite is just really all your offers in its sense. So some people have 3 offers and some people have 6 offers. So basically the offers in your product suite meet your ideal customer at depending on where they're at in their journey. So if you're a fitness coach and your ideal customer might be super new to fitness, you might have a specific offer for people who are new to fitness. Maybe they're more advanced. You might have an offer that more advanced when it comes to fitness, right? But you have offers for your customers at different journeys. This helps you not leave money on the table, but helps you be able to work with so many different ideal customers. And I think it's important because I think in order to scale your business, you do need multiple offers. I think eventually down the line, like you see some of these big name entrepreneurs, I mean, they have one offer they can run ads to all the time and make money off of it. But when you're in the building stage of entrepreneurship, you're probably not really running ads and you're probably doing a lot of things organically. And if you want to create more offers, and that's fine. So I think in order to scale and really hit those high income months, having different offers in your suite to fit different customers who come to you is really essential. And one thing I'll say, and I'm a manifesting generator, I'm an Enneagram 3, so I love to create. If I could create a new offer every month and launch it, like I literally would, because I have so many ideas, but some people aren't like that. And I think it's fine. You could have 3 offers in your suite, and that's totally fine. I have clients who just want 3 offers. I have clients who want 10 offers. It really depends on you and how you like to create, and also what your audience wants from you at the end of the day.
I love that. Thank you for explaining that in so much detail. I mean, it's crazy. When you're not in the online space, you don't really know any of this. And then I feel like the COVID lockdown introduced everyone to the online space. Everyone was so overwhelmed at first. They're like, we can't do this. We can't take our business online. But I'm seeing this big shift in almost every industry. People are becoming really creative and pivoting and, figuring out a way to take it to the web. But one thing I've noticed is people feel so icky when it comes to selling. Like sales is not everyone's favorite topic. How can you sell authentically? What is your take on selling authentically?
Yeah, I picture it. I picture sales as a service. I say that if you don't present a solution to your ideal customer's problem, you're doing them a disservice. And I think we have the mindset of sales is icky. I feel salesy because we see all those commercials of car dealerships selling their cars, and it's not good what they're doing. And that just really shows us that sales feel icky. But when you enter the online space and you sell from an authentic place, it's just doing your customer a service. So I would say number 1, it's rewiring your mindset to I feel icky to if I don't present this solution to my customer, I'm doing them a disservice. So number 1, it's mindset work, whether that's limiting belief work, whether that's just working on selling more and being confident. And number 2 would be confidence when it comes to selling. The more that you sell, the more that you get used to it. And it's just like anything. Say you want to lose 10 pounds. Well, it's not going to happen overnight. You have to be consistent with it. So I always say that show up on video and sell for 14 days straight. And I guarantee you're going to sell something, because the more that you talk about it, the more that people are going to be interested in it. It takes someone like 8 to 22 times to see something before they buy. And sell like authentically with soul. So you're going to show up and you're not going to have that mindset when you realize you're just doing a service. If you show up and you feel icky, you're going to come off icky. And it just has a lot to do with your energy as well. Making sure that you're in the right headspace, you have the right energy when you want to sell, and you're confident with what you're selling. If you don't like what you're selling, it's not going to sell. If you don't like the price, it's not going to sell. If you don't have your messaging down pat, it's going to be hard to sell. So I would say when it comes to selling authentically, it's mindset, making sure you're rewiring your mindset. And that might be a daily thing that you have to work on with your limiting beliefs, being confident in yourself and being confident in your offer, and consistency, and getting basically used to it. The more that you're used to selling, the more you're like, oh, I'm just doing a service. I feel confident in this. It's just like anything that you do in your day-to-day life.
I love that. And 8 to 22 times, that's crazy. I mean, everyone needs to get really repetitive with their selling then. Okay, tell me this. You're 25 and you have so much confidence. How? How did you cultivate that confidence?
So I would say with confidence for me, I think I've always just been very determined. So I was an athlete in high school. I played volleyball for a year in college. That year in college, me playing volleyball just literally changed my discipline forever. I'm not saying you need to be an athlete to have this confidence, but I'm saying that it literally changed my perspective on everything. And I would say, waking up for my weights at 4 a.m., being disciplined, getting the work done, going to the games, like it truly helped me be just more disciplined, like in my life. And I carried that into my business. And I think it's from my family are entrepreneurs too. So I have a few people in my family who own businesses, and I see them, they've owned their business for 30 plus years. And I've seen that it's taken them a while. So I'm pretty patient. I would say you enter the online space and you want a super quick fix, and that's just not going to happen. It may happen for some people, but you want to scale sustainably. So I saw my family not really do well in their business until 20 years in. So I'm just in it for the long run. And I show up confidently because we're not in a hurry. So many people are just in a hurry, and it really bothers me in the online space. They're like, I need this ASAP. And I'm like, but why are we in a hurry? There's no sense in hurrying. It's just the more that you trust the process and the more that you stay in tune with yourself, the more confident that you're going to be. And I would say that I'm a mixture of the masculine and feminine. I'm very disciplined. I'll get the stuff done, but I want to stay in flow and trust the process and know that I'm not in a hurry to do so much in my life, and no one else should be. So the more that you trust the process, I believe the more confident that you are. And the more it stems from trusting yourself as well.
Amazing. Thank you for those tips. Now, on your social media, you talk a lot about launching. So, and you do it so gracefully, and you talk about doing it gracefully. And what are your top 3 tips on launching? How do you launch?
Yeah. So I would say my first tip is trial and error. So I've launched so many times. I've launched a whole lot, at least over 20 times. And each time you're going to learn something new. And I would say the first tip, trial and error, and not getting so down on if you have a bad launch, and knowing that you're going to launch a lot more. And making sure that you're tracking your metrics. So take with you past launches and implement into your new launches and the launches that you have coming up. Each launch is going to be better, but each launch you're going to learn something new. So trial and error. And just because you have a bad launch doesn't mean you don't want to launch again. Launch again. It's fine. Trial and error would be my number 1 tip. Number 2 is figure out a launch strategy that you like. I've launched many different ways. I've launched with a free challenge, masterclass, waitlist, no launch strategy at all, just showing up and promoting. We're all different. So if you don't like launching with a free challenge, then don't. The launch isn't going to feel good to you if you don't like the launch event leading up to it. Finding a launch event that you love and works for you is going to really increase your conversions during your launch. So I love launching with a wait list. It's my unique framework that I love. Launching with a wait list is my favorite because it feels easy to me. I don't have to show up 5 days live and doing a free challenge. I don't have to do a masterclass, but some people don't like that way. Some people would rather launch with a masterclass. So it's finding the strategy that works for you and keep implementing it and perfecting your craft to keep launching. And then I would say the third thing when it comes to launching is loving your offer. If you don't love your offer, and even if you did all the market research and you got on the market research calls and you created something that your audience wants, but you don't love it, it's not going to sell. You have to love it and your audience has to want it for it to sell. And I think people neglect the part of you loving it. They create a lot of offers based on what their audience wants, which you should, but at the end of the day, they don't like it. So it's not selling. And they'll come to me and they'll be like, I did all the market research. I got on the calls. I created what they wanted. And I'm like, did you want it? Did you like it? And they're like, no, that's the reason why that it's not selling. So you need to love your offer as much as your audience wants your offer. So those would be my top 3 tips.
Amazing. Thank you for the tips. My final question is, we're seeing the shift online to the online space. Do you think the online market is saturated, or do you think there's always room for more?
There's always room for more. That's what I think. And I think it can feel, I think it's more like when you enter the online space, it can be saturated, definitely, because you haven't found your unique voice yet and you feel like you're not standing out. But I promise you, if you keep showing up and keep putting in the work and coming out with unique offers, creating your unique frameworks, you're going to stand out and you're going to move past that feeling of the market being saturated when it's really not. There's room for everyone. There's literally room for everyone at the table. It's just up to you to trust yourself, find your unique frameworks, and creating the unique offers that are going to help you stand out. And everyone's journey is different. Just because someone scaled to 6 figures so fast and you didn't, doesn't mean you're a failure. Only you think that about yourself. And you have to remember everyone's journey is different. It might take you longer than someone else. It might take you faster than someone else. It just really depends on the journey that you have. And, I truly believe everything happens for a reason, but I don't believe the market is saturated. I think there's room for everyone. It's just trusting the process and being patient, which no one is in the online space. I just talked about that on my stories yesterday. And I was like, I always talk about the compound effect, how little actions that you do are going to lead to big results. And we all jump into the big action and we don't get the outcome we want because we're impatient. Like I'm the most impatient person ever. I will not stand in the line at the grocery store. I will get Instacart delivered. But it's really, the online space has really tested my patience and has helped me grow into being a patient person, because owning a business is hard. It's not all fun and games. Like, this is something that you want for the long run in your life. And you just have to be patient and have to trust the process. I say that 5 million times, but it's so true.
Amazing. Thank you so much. So how can people reach you?
Yeah, so my Instagram is at madison.tinder. My website is madisontinderllc.com. And I also have a podcast. It's the Soulful Social Podcast. We talk entrepreneurship, marketing, whatever. So many different things on the podcast. It's not niche down. So we talk about everything. But yeah, that's where you can find me. And then my Facebook group is Soulful Social with Madison Tinder.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Madison, for your time and for sharing all your wisdom and your insights on marketing, business, and everything else in between.
Thank you so much for having me. It was super fun.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. Speak soon. Thank you for joining us this week on Minutes on Growth. If you enjoyed today's episode, then make sure you never miss a show by clicking the subscribe button now.